Hi, everyone. So here's a really important question for us. Hi, Claire. I'm on the Be the Change course and I love what you're saying. Good. Um, is there a risk, though, that it might open the doors to victim blaming? How do we make sure that that doesn't happen? Yes. So the Be the Change course, we are looking at 7 portals, 7 gateways, which are really 7 gateways of ultimate self accountability of gateways of recognition that the entire reality appears from within, that there is no externally objective independent reality and self. So we're looking at these 7 portals, which include things like healing the wounds within us that project outwards, seeing how our own behavior is actually keeping in place the very thing that we resist, or seeing how our own behavior is the same as the behavior that we are trying to get rid of in someone else. How do we get to a clean, powerful ask, which is upheld, which is our way of moving around the world with sanity and accountability, among other portals. And so the question is, in all of that accountability, if we take it all on ourselves, is there a risk that in doing that we are allowing for a concept of victim blaming, that we're saying, that person over there, who's in that abusive relationship, or who got mugged in the street the other day, or whose relationship has failed because their husband has been unfaithful, it's their fault. They're the ones that are to blame in this whole situation. They've brought that on themselves. And what we can consider that to be is the equivalent of shame. It's so to blame a victim is so we're putting on blame onto someone else. It's the equivalent of when we have shame for ourselves, because all of it is resting on this idea that we are the doer, that there's a decider, that has a choice, that could do something differently. And so victim blaming is saying this person should decide to do something differently. But what we're saying is there is no doer, there is no decider, that all behavior is coming from a conditioned accumulation of beliefs that run the show, subconsciously run the show. And there's no option in that. All behavior is optimum for the reality that's believed. And in bringing that to the surface, we're recognizing that there are aspects of that conditioning which comes out in terms of our behavior or our resistance, our resentment, the silencing of our voice, the lack of boundaries. These behaviors, these ways of being in the world, this confusion is keeping in place all the things that we most resist, all the resentment, but no one is doing that. It's such it's 2 different planets, really. But the seeing, this is the irony, the seeing that there is no doer is liberation, because the seeing of that means that the origin of behavior is recognized, the conditioning, the confusion, the insanity, the child wounds that aren't healing because they're not ever really looked at, they're not ever really acknowledged, or they're running the show. there's no doer doing it. The conditioning is creating behavior. And let's forget other people out there and let's bring it all into us. Let's see the confusion within us. See how the circumstances that are most resisted, in which we feel most helpless, most hopeless, are projections from within, and that the helplessness is a way of keeping that child intact, unexposed, like clinging on to whatever stability is available. See it for ourselves. Forget blaming, shaming other people. It's happening here. We can't even relate to other people yet while this is all going on within us. So see it for ourselves. See the areas in our life where we are stuck and limited and in conflict or in withdrawal, and allow those areas to reveal what is really going on by getting so still in them, so accountable, so present, so open to whatever emotions are there. And that is a healing process. It's an enlightenment process that changes the world as it appears, changes the entire foundation of believed self. And we can see in that process, we can see there's no possibility of blame or shame. It's a shift from a world in which blame and shame make sense to a world in which there is no decider, there is no doer, there is no chooser, and the truth that we are can be accountable for all of it, all behavior, all words, all perception, all appearances, everything. Freedom and sanity, and the end of confusion. Yeah, thank you. Great question. Lots of love. Bye.